New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Yup. What's going on? This is Jailers from Nick of Time Show here. Give you that Knicks talk just in a nick of time. And it's time to talk about a Knicks win because the Knicks beat the Hornets 121 to 106. 5-game winning streak stopped by these lowly New York Knicks who wasn't so low today because, you know what? The high flying Obi Toppin, gunshots for Obi Toppin, gives you 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists on the night. And the highest plus minus of the game of plus 19. Also, we give you RJ Barrett, who gives you 30 points and 3 assists on the night. Jericho Sins chips in with 10. Alec Burks gives you 17. Evan Fournier breaks John Stark's 3-point record set in 99-4-95 and gives you 12 points and 7 assists. And Emmanuel quickly comes in and also gives you 10 points and 7 assists. The team as a whole gives you 30 assists on the night and rain down threes, 44% from 3, hitting 20 of them, and the Knicks rout the Hornets, and we're talking about it all. And today I'm here to be excited. Today I'm not here to be modest. I'm telling you right now, Ryan G, I am not here to be modest today. I'm here to talk my stuff. I'm here to big up my guy Obi Toppin, who's been languishing on the bench because of Tom Thibodeau, and now he got his wings and was able to fly. So busting these shots for Obi Toppin. And also RJ Barrett, who once again gives you another 30-point game. His 11th 30-point game of the season, leading the youngsters, man. No other youngster, no one 20 years old is giving you 11 30-point games of the season but RJ Barrett. And we talking about all the details of the game. Before we do that, first, I'm going to introduce you to my guy. The man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Good win for the Knicks tonight. It was nice to see the them run and play tonight. And there's a lot to talk about tonight. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about, man. The play style is different when Randall is gone. The passing was there. Everything was. But I'm gonna start off talking about Obadiah. All right, we're gonna start off talking about Obadiah, the son of Dunker's Delight, the high flyer himself. The man who was stapled to the bench for so long. People were counting him out, telling him, "Yo, he's one-dimensional. Oh, he can't hit threes." Like, this man proved something to everybody today, and he can play. And I've been saying this for a while, that, you know what? If he's given more time, and if he's given more runway to not make mistakes, he can actually produce. And we've seen it in Summer League. Ryan, shout out to you guys who've been following us in Summer League. We're covering these Summer League games. We talked about how Obi gets going. Obi gets going through running, through movement. He's not a guy who can stand still, stay on the bench, and just get going like that, like a microwave. He's a rhythm player. He's always been a rhythm player. So when he's getting only 11 to 10 minutes of the game, I already know that's not conducive to the best Obi. For Obi to be the best Obi, he needs time to run. He's not a microwave 3-point shooter. But he averaged 40% from 3 in college. And you know why? Because the 3 wasn't his first shot, Ryan. The 3 wasn't his first shot. The first shot was the dunk. He worked inside out. He got going. He got running a few times. Then he hit a couple of threes, and he got stuff more in the flow of the game. We relegating him to a standstill 3-point shooter is not his game. And today we got to see him run. We got to see him dunk. And it was more impressive. We still haven't utilized his best assets to me. We still haven't utilized him as a guy who is a pick and roll guy, who can catch lobs on the pick and roll and be that vertical scoring threat. He's been doing all his damage running the floor, beating everybody down the floor, showing off his elite motor. waiting for defenders to turn their head and then running by them and catching dunks and dunking it on people's head. We've seen Obi do it in other ways that still hasn't fully utilized his strength, and that's why I'm giving Obi his props. And plus the 6 assists on the night as well, man. In college, one of the things they said was he's a willing passer and he's a pretty decent passer as well. And we have yet to see that. But if we start to play Obi with more minutes, and he doesn't have that big bag number 30 shadow following him down a dark alley, waiting to yank him back to the bench, he can produce games like this, Ryan. He can produce games like this. I don't know. You have anything to add about Obi Toppin, man? Cause I'm just like, I'm happy for the kid because I feel like he can do this a couple of more times. I don't know when Randall is coming back, but I guarantee you, if Obi Toppin plays the rest of these games and getting 30+ minutes a game, he's going to give you 2010 at least 2 more times, at least.
Yeah. The thing with Obi Toppin is, I think everybody, for the most part, noticed this with the way the Knicks have been using Obi Toppin for his rookie season and for most of this season. Because we've all said it, like, the way they use Obi Toppin is when he comes off the bench, they use him as a stretch 4. Basically, all he does is stay at the 3-point line, stay in the corner, wait for the ball to come to him to shoot the ball or whatever the case may be. The Knicks never utilize his strengths. And looking at the game today, you saw his strengths. He's a guy where he's great when he's moving off ball, and especially when teammates actually look for him, because he quickly was looking for him. Fournier gave him a couple good passes as well that he dunked. Mm-hmm. And when you have guys that look for Obi, especially since his movement is so well off ball, he's able to utilize that and get easy baskets. And I think this game shows that if the Knicks have a legit point guard, which, don't get me wrong, quickly he's shown that he can play the point, but I'm still not fully convinced that he's a point guard of the future yet.
I feel quickly had a really good point guard game today. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, he had a really good, but still, like, if the Knicks could get a better point guard, I'd still be with it. But I think this game shows that if the Knicks really have a legit point guard, like a guy who's like he was brought up as a point guard, like it's not somebody that we're trying to transform into a point guard, Obi's game would be off the chain, because when guys look for Obi and Obi has that off-ball movement, he's hard to defend. He's definitely hard to defend. And another thing about Obi tonight is Julius Randle.
Yep.
Look, we know Julius Randle's a guy that's going to give you 20 and 10 every night. He's a baller. He's great on offense. But the one thing Obi does better than Julius Randle, where Julius Randle lacks a lot of times on the defensive end. Obi may not be the greatest defender, but Obi is flying around the court on defense, which makes a difference. The effort makes a huge difference, because a lot of times when Julius Randle's on the court, he's sleeping on the defensive end. He's not hustling on the defensive end, and that leads to a lot of open shots for the other team, and it leaves a lot of openings on defense. But with Obi, he's running around on defense. He's covering for guys. He's offering like weak side help. He's doing everything that you want a big to do on defense, and that's what Obi does. And like we said, Obi just gets more minutes. And then the thing that really upsets me is that watching all the young guys play tonight.
Yeah.
What if Thibs actually gave these guys burn earlier in the season? Like, how well would they be playing now?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, say, for example, Julius Randle. We've been complaining about Julius Randle all season. The fact of the matter is Julius Randle plays at least 35, 36, 37 plus minutes every game. What happened if Thibs actually split the minutes and gave Obi like at least 20 minutes a game and have Randle play the rest? Yep. Would Randle be burnt out at the end of games? He wouldn't be. So it's like Thibs. All I'm praying for is that what Thibs is seeing from the young guys tonight, since he's going to be here next season, I don't think there's anything we can do about that. We just have to accept it for what it is. Mm-hmm. The only thing I could hope for is that Thibs actually sees what Thibs actually takes what he sees from the young guys now, and then going into next season, he gives them more rope seeing how well they play, and then and incorporate them more into the lineup, and hopefully out is more rest time and have these young guys contribute more. And I put money on it. If they can just do that, the Knicks are going to be better. They're going to be way better off next season.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's all up to the tip. It's up to the front office. He's not going to do it alone. The front office has to sit on him and put that pressure, apply that pressure on him, because he's not going to do it alone. And I agree with you, man, about Obi's strength. Obi is an elite rim runner, but he also has an elite motor, man. Motor is something that's really underrated in the NBA. That's something that Kevin Knox lacked, and Obi had that in spades. He's always going to keep moving and put pressure on the defense. How many times have you seen him just run the floor, and even if he doesn't get a lob, he just runs the floor and puts LaMelo Ball in a precarious situation because he's posting him up early in the shot clock. So, like, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Obi right now, and I'm hoping he continues. And I know, Randall, man, just take a couple of more days off. Just take a couple more days, so you can see where things go with these young guys, and we can step it up a level and actually build some value. Because I said it long before, and we said it here too. It's Obi Toppin is one of those guys where I feel like if he gets traded somewhere, we're gonna be look like a year down the road, like, damn, we had that here, like we had that year, and it might have been worth moving him if Randall kept up what Randall was been doing last year and actually has been a leader. But at this point, I think, like, if you have a few more games like this with 11 games left, I feel like the incentive to move Randall is even higher. Especially because we're finding, I mean, granted, this team is not the best defensive team either, but I feel like we're finding another way to offensively play without Randall, and it is beautiful to see today.
Yeah, and also I just want to add one more thing too, because, for most of this season we've been getting on Burks, we've been getting on Fournier, but have you noticed how different they look when they're surrounded by other players that can play defense or run around on defense?
Yeah.
Like tonight, like, I wasn't complaining about Burks getting out the game. I wasn't complaining about Fournier getting out the game tonight, just because they're surrounded by guys that actually run around on defense and cover for each other on defense. It made their defensive errors not look as bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to put that out there as well.
Yeah, I still wanted some little bit more of Miles McBride. I'll talk about McBride later, because McBride had 10 minutes and 40 seconds, 9 points in 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Shout out to McBride, gunshots for him, because he's looking a lot more comfortable right now, putting up a three, yakking it in people's eyes. So shout out to McBride. But I like what I saw from him today as well. Shout out to my guy Silver Analytics, says a $10 super chat, who says Obi makes it difficult to key on Barrett. He unlocks RJ efficiency. Yeah, man, he did. But and this is the next thing I want to talk about, Ryan. The game plan that differed from yesterday till today. Because yesterday we played the Hawks, and the Knicks were very reliant on RJ Barrett's playmaking. And today I saw a different approach, and it worked out, because we got Evan Fournier here to not just be a shooter. And congratulations to Evan Fournier, who beat John Stark's record, and for single season 3-point shots made. But we also brought him here to be a bit of a playmaker. And the first few minutes of the game, Ryan, Evan Fournier was playmaking his I'm not gonna say the word. If you was here yesterday, you know what I'm talking. He was playmaking his butt off.
I was angry yesterday, so I let a few words fly. But yeah,
I feel you. I feel like YouTube didn't catch it because the views and stuff was good, so it didn't happen. All right, it didn't happen.
That's what's up.
But Evan Fournier really played a really good role facilitating. 7 assists on the night, and it started early. The Hornets, for some reason, I don't know, man. They had the tip syndrome today on defense where they tried one defensive play over and over again. It didn't work. They were trying to trap the pick and roller every single time, and every single time we picked them apart, whether it was Evan Fournier or it was Alec Burks or RJ Barrett. But a lot of times it was Evan Fournier who passed the ball out the double pretty quickly and found Sims rolling for dunks, found Obi rolling as well. And shout out to Evan Fournier. He played a good 4 game. This was EuroLeague Evan Fournier today. 7 assists, 12 points, 7 assists on the night. 4-10 from 3, which is exactly 40%, which is pretty much his average on the night. Shout out to Evan Fournier.
Yeah, man. Also gotta, not just big of Fournier, but just the team in general, because there were also plays where throughout the season I've been seeing Knicks bigs do this, and they would not get the ball. But there were at least 2 or 3 times tonight where the bigs actually sealed the defender on the low block, and I think Fournier and I forgot who else, but they would just throw it over the top, and they would then either Sims or Obi would catch, and they would dunk the ball. And the bigs been doing that pretty much all season, and they haven't been getting the ball.
Yeah.
But tonight they were looking for them, and I was impressed. I was like, the 2 or 3 times I saw the bigs actually sealed down low, where the defenders out the pitch, and if you throw it over the top, they would get the easy dunk, and they actually got the ball tonight. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's exactly. I feel like it started yesterday. I feel like Fournier was doing that for Mitch yesterday, and Mitch is out today with a bad back. But I feel like it started yesterday with Evan Fournier feeding Mitch, and we started to see it again today. In general, it just seems like our ball movement, the play style we have to playing today without Julius Randle is just so much more enjoyable than I've ever seen the entire season. To the fact that we got 30 assists at this point of the season and Julius Randle is out, I don't think is any coincidence. And it went on through the entire night pretty much. There wasn't a part of the night where the ball movement really stopped. And maybe the ball stopper tonight might have been, if you want to be nitpicky, it was really RJ Barrett, you know what I mean? But and let's talk about RJ Barrett though. RJ Barrett tonight. And let me switch the screen on you guys. RJ Barrett tonight gives you another 30-point game. Another 30-point game from RJ Barrett. Went to the hole, super efficient today. Took the challenge, and I feel like the fact that the ball didn't go through him as much, it felt like his usage was down a lot from yesterday to today. I feel like because of that, he was able to be a lot more efficient in his shooting and his play and taking it to the rack. How did you like RJ's game today, man?
Yeah, the last few games where RJ has, scored big points, the main issue with RJ was that he wasn't efficient. And I think, I heard them talking about it either during the game or during the halftime show. I don't recall, or I don't even recall if I got the information off Twitter. But apparently there was some article that came out which basically talked about RJ Barrett's inefficiency and wondering if the Knicks should even sign him to a max deal in the next upcoming off season. I don't know who wrote the article, but I heard about it.
Was that Berman? Was it Berman? I feel like it might have been Berman. A max deal?
It could have been. But I think it was Berman, because Berman said that, that the Knicks should be cautious about signing RJ to a max deal. And one of the reasons why was because of his inefficiency in the scoring department, or whatever the case may be. But tonight, RJ Barrett showed that he can be efficient and get you 30. And RJ Barrett, I mean, you really can't say anything more about this guy. He's definitely shown great improvement this season. And today he definitely scored at all 3 levels. He drove it to the basket, got a few easy baskets. He hit the 3-pointer. So, RJ Barrett just had a great overall game. You wish that maybe he could have playmake a bit more, but Quickly and Fournier were doing the playmaker tonight, so I guess there wasn't much pressure on him to play make as much tonight. And he did. I thought he would have crashed the boards more today, seeing that Mitch was out.
Right.
I thought he would have helped more on the boards. He only got 3 rebounds, but besides that, RJ Barrett had a good game.
Yeah, I feel like we got crushed on the boards tonight, but that's gonna happen when you have Mitch out and you only have Simmons to play and Taj. There was points of the game where R.J. Barrett was playing power forward for long stretches of time, and that's the time when the Hornets actually started to make their run, because as good as the defenses were playing, and we did a pretty good job for long periods of time, it came a point where we had to get the rebound to end up the good defensive play, and we just wasn't able to do it. Let me see if I'm looking at the rebounding numbers for tonight. We got our rebounding 51-46. So that's still not even that bad considering we only have one real center out there. So it looks like the Knicks kind of fought back at the end and closed the rebounding gap and probably gain rebound. But like I said, I think RJ Barrett. I think the thing that benefited RJ Barrett today was he didn't dominate the ball as much. 1, 2. I think because he didn't dominate the ball as much, he was able to actually hit free throws, 7 to 8 from free throws. I do feel like him getting the ball every single time down the court yesterday tired him out, and he wasn't able to catch his breath at free throws. And defensively he held his own. He held his own a little bit. The Knicks as a whole held their own, because this team averages 116 points a game, held them to 106. And all without one of their best defensive anchors in Mitch Robinson. So great job from R.J. Barrett. And I want to talk about Quickly too, man, because Quickly came in and changed the game, dog. Like Quickly came. This is one of the best point guard games I've seen from Quickly in a long time. Well, I feel like he wasn't he was feeding the hot man. He was getting into the lane, and there was points of the time when he was going into the lane with the sole purpose of kicking it to shooters. Like the shot that he got Grimes in the fourth quarter, I was just like proud dad moments. Like, yes, Quickly. It's like you don't have to shoot that floater. Like break down that defense, feed Grimes and hit the three, and then pivotal moment of the game. Quickly had a really good game, man. And like they could not keep up with this dude. As soon as he came in the game, the Knicks were up, I think 4. When Quickly came in the game, and all of a sudden you look up, the Knicks have 40 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like this kid, man, this kid is turning, like, I know he's still a combo guard, but man, 7 assists from your combo guard. No one can keep it in front of him. He's throwing lobs. There was a point where he was directing traffic. He was telling Sims to come down because he saw how they was playing him and threw him a lob for an easy dunk. Like, Quickly was really doing his thing, man, on both and scoring efficiently and hitting threes. Like, man, people was giving up on this kid like a month ago. And I was even getting a little frustrated, to tell you the truth. I was like, man, can he play some point guard? But like, I'm mad for doubting myself. Like, so shout out to Quickly, and everybody. Shout out to this team, man. Shout out to the team and the good team play, and the good team play without Julius Randle here. Let's keep this up, please.
Yes, please. And Thibs, Leon Rose, whoever may be listening to this tonight, please. Julius Randle he's had a rough season. Let my man sit out for the rest of the season. Let him relax his mind. Let his body recover. Give my man an early summer.
Right.
Just give him an early summer. Let the young guys, run. Let's. Obi had 40 minutes tonight. Like, I was shocked. Let the young guys run for the rest of the season. Rest Randall. Maybe you can rest 40, 48 a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Rest Burks. Just rest everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let the young guys run for the rest of the season. You ain't making the playoffs anyway.
Yeah, it's not. We're here for it's about your concern. We want you to heal up, man. Don't stress that leg anymore. And you need a mental break too to kind of go to Zen mode and kumbaya and come back next year refreshed if you're still here. All right. As Raw would say, come back and, for the Kings refreshed, all right?
Yes,
or whatever team you might be in next season. All right, 2 callers up, but before we get to the callers, gunshots for Black Needle since the $10 who chat. It says, big facts, Ryan G. Give Obi more burn, and he'll be a much better defender with time. Can't stay for the rest of the show, but I'll be in the comments tomorrow morning and run these like-ups. Peace, KOT fam. Shout out to you, Black Needle, man. Shout out to you. Thank you for
sir. Thank you.
Doing your thing and commenting on the show as well. All right, first caller up. We got our guy, Big Reaper, a.k.a. Silver Analytics, a.k.a. the other guy with the stats and the facts.
No, that's a real man with the stats and the facts. I gave him my title. I gave him my title.
Ryan has forgone the stats and the facts title and crowned Big Reaper.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I'm happy. This is the happiest I've been, like, in a long time with this team.
Facts.
Honestly, even if we would have, like, let's say something happened and we would have lost it, I still would have been okay because of the minutes a lot of the guys got, except I wish we probably got more minutes.
Right.
But I'm happy we won it. I'm really ecstatic we won the game because it just shows so much. I mean, like, the stuff we've been talking about the whole year. And it's like, you know, a lot of times, like, you get some of these, like, I guess the writers that are like on SNY or whatever, they make it seem like, you know, like these fans, like we don't know what we're talking about. And like Coach Tibbs, like, look, Coach Tibbs had, you know, unfortunate for him, he needs to make the decision. And if it goes bad, but the fans have all the information laid out in front of them, right? And then they get to kind of sit there and look back and be like, you know what? And they could be like, yeah, you know, the decision you made was wrong because all the information is there. But I'm just kind of happy, like, a lot of what everybody's been talking about is actually, it's showing that it's true. You know, like, Obi Toppin, he's like just, you know, it's not like he's more skilled or more talented than Julius Randle, but he's definitely way more efficient, you know. And he's more conducive for, like, a good free-flowing offense. And, like, I just noticed, it just hit me today, like, a ton of bricks, like, it's really hard to key in on RJ if you're running action on the same side with Obi. If you're running an action with RJ and Obi on the same side, because of like how quickly Obi kind of like that dives to the basket.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like, it's really difficult to kind of key in on RJ, and so like it's very hard to like then kind of get the double teams to come. And that's why yesterday, like after yesterday's game, I was like, I just don't understand why he's not playing RJ and Obi together more, because it's just like, you know, it's just very difficult because he's just you know, he moves around a lot. He just moves way too much, and so it makes it very difficult for defenses to kind of like, you know, to fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone is just kind of standing at the line.
No, you're right.
Just two more things, real quick. I wanted to say, like, I'm kind of glad Tom Thibodeau brought Sims back in that fourth quarter.
Me too.
Because it's like, yeah, Sims is struggling, but the dude, like, we got to let these kids play, man. We got to let them just, you know, learn how to play, get used to the NBA game. I'm kind of feeling the same thing with, like, what they need to do with Grimes is, like, the kid can shoot. I really think they need to just focus, like, they need to focus some shots on Grimes. Like, the kid can shoot. He needs the confidence. You need to give him the confidence. Like, dude, you can drop 25 points in a game. I don't care if he has 3 games in a row where he shoots like 3 of 15. Like, but I think seeing the kind of player Grimes is, I think he's not going to, if he goes like 3 of 15 a couple of times, he's not going to let him get down. He's still going to keep shooting.
Yeah.
Like, you know, seeing the way he, you know, seeing like the way he played in college and then also seeing him in like summer league, the kid just likes to put up shots. And I think that's what they need to do. And the sooner they do that, and also they got to play the kids, that McBride kid more, because it's clear he's got a great defense. And his offense, he's not a bum on offense either. The kid can shoot. Just let these kids play. Give them the confidence. And Tom really needs to, he needs to learn how to inspire confidence in these kids. And he's kind of got some players here, and he's just like, and it feels like all he's doing is just like snatching away all their confidence. And the only reason all this is happening is because of all the injuries that went down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty crazy.
Super crazy.
Yeah, but thank you guys for taking my call, man. I just want to, you know, make it short. I'm like, this is the happiest I've been in a long time.
Man, me
too.
too.
You know,
Facts. All facts.
Man, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for your call, man. Shout out to Reaper. Yo, it's crazy.
All right, thanks.
It's crazy. We're out of the play-in. We're not making the playoffs. This is like, I don't know, what game is this? Like game 60?
Yeah, it's like getting like 70,
70,
what, 73?
Somewhere. And this is the happiest I've been all season. This is the happiest I've been all season. And I'm gonna address the Obi comment, man. Like, just like when rim runners created attention, because rim runners sometimes they'll bring two to the ball and leave 3-point shooters open. Obi was kind of been doing that from the corner, which is amazing, and leaving people open as well. Like people who move around, who are in constant motion, Obi, IQ, they just put defenders in trouble. So the more of those types of players we have, the more off ball motion we have, the harder it's going to be for defenses to key in on us. So I think he had a great point about Obi creating some open lanes for RJ, 'cause that's absolutely true. And if Obi can keep people honest by hitting a couple of threes as he's rim running, you're done for. You're done for. You're done for. Plus the 6 assists from Obi on top of that. It's just out of this world. It's crazy from Obi what we're seeing right now. And
all facts.
Yeah, and not only that, he also talked about Quentin Grimes' confidence. I'm not worried about Quentin Grimes. I don't even think the coach is worried about Quentin Grimes. I think that he's coming back from injury, so he's not as efficient right now, but the defense is still there, and he's the one guy where I feel like he's not going to bury, because I kind of feel like once you're into the coach's good graces for long stretches of time, he doesn't really take you out of the good graces. CIQ for evidence, So I feel like Quentin Grimes is gonna be fine, but Miles McBride is the other case study where the confidence in him is rising. Him knowing he's gonna get a certain amount of minutes is beneficial for him, just like Obi gave you 9 points on the night. Damn near went perfect from the three from 4. And this is the McBride that we saw in Summer League, man. This is the McBride that we see in Summer League where he's just pulling it with guys. He's not completely open, but kind of open enough, and he's still kind of drilling it with defenses closing out on him. And we seen him do it in Summer League, and now we've seen him having the confidence to do it in the game, and he delivered. He definitely delivered today. And he had also a nice bullet pass to RJ Barrett in the second quarter. He gave you the little eyes with the fingers. Yeah, McBride is coming to his own, man. McBride is coming to his own. If he gets the ball a little bit more and starts to actually be like a playmaker as well, watch out, man. I feel like that's the next stage for McBride if he gets a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I think, because I don't really want to get on Thibs today because, he actually made good decisions tonight and the Knicks played well tonight. But if there's one critique I do have about tonight's game, just the fact that when McBride is in the game, Thibs doesn't really play him at the point guard like that.
Right.
He still lets Quickly do most of the point guard run, and I get it. Quickly at the moment, is running the point better than McBride. So I understand why he defers to Quickly more to run the point than McBride. But I still feel like, at least on a few possessions, at least make McBride run point sometimes and let Quickly run the 2 guard. I
agree.
Don't just leave it all to Quickly and then just have McBride just, be in the corner or whatnot and just be a shooting guard. Let McBride run the offense a bit sometimes too. Because if the guy's averaging 11 assists per game in Westchester.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that you can't let this guy run point guard a few times, during the game? Come on.
Yeah, he averages video game numbers in Westchester. It's ridiculous. 30 points, 11 assists, and 5 or 6 rebounds a game is ridiculous. I don't care what league you're in. G League, NBA, Little League, I don't care what. That's ridiculous. YMCA League, that's ridiculous. But I agree with you there, Ryan. But I'm hoping that's the next step for him. At least let him run with the older unit sometimes, and have him do some Alec Burks playmaking type of situation. Because Alec Burks is kind of, I feel like Alec Burks 17 points today for Alec Burks. I feel like Alec Burks is doing well because he's taking on less playmaking, actually. And it seemed like Evan Fournier was a playmaker today, ironically. So,
yeah.
Look at that. All right, next caller up, we got our guy Ken T, editor of the Nick of Time Show. What's going on, Ken T? Let us know what you want to talk about. And before you start talking, Kenty, if you guys want to call in, the number is 319-527-6241. The number is right there at the bottom if you want to call in. That is 319-527-6241.
What's up?
What's going on, Ken?
I hear the excitement.
Let's talk about a win.
Man, you guys are hitting your primes, right? You guys are no longer young players, man. You guys are hitting your prime. You're hitting all the notes. You guys are saying everything everybody's thinking, and you just stole the words out of my mouth. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was about to say what you just said. It's game 73. We just got eliminated from the play-in, and I'm happy as hell with this victory. This is one of my favorite victories of the year.
Facts.
Because of the way we played, right? I think as fans, all we want to see is the team play hard and smart. And then what you saw tonight was you saw hustle. You saw something called ball movement, which has been missing when Mr. Randall's been the vocal point of the offense. And like I said, we saw tonight what we've been wanting to see. And like I said, and there's also like a promise of what could be this team in a couple of years. Because like I said, I know Tibbs and the front office to try to win now with some of these vets, but we know there was a ceiling on this team. Like this team, there was no moves they're going to make, even if all the vets were healthy, that they were ever going to be in contention for a championship.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like, what's the point? Let's develop, the young guys and build something that, that in a year or two can actually, get us in a position where we haven't been in 20 years. And that's been part of the problem is we have these ridiculous timelines. Like who says that we got to be a contender in 2 years? That doesn't happen. There's no team in the NBA has been built in 2 years. It takes 4 or 5 years. And I just want to say before I rip Randall, like as you know, I try to be objective and look at both sides, right? Because like we're all upset with Randall. We want to rip into him. But I think there's definitely something to him. I think he's been dealing with some injuries this year, nagging.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's been sitting really. I think it's more because of his outburst and his attitude.
I think so too.
Because he just took it too far. But one thing I want to say is, like, if you look at the stats since Tibbs took over last year, Randall has been leading the league in minutes. And the thing is, it's not like I'm not just talking minutes per game, but just total minutes.
Yeah.
And I was just going through the list, like. He was averaging like I think like almost 37 minutes a game, and like the next closest guy was like Sabonis,
mm-hmm. who
was like just under a minute below him. But Sabonis has missed like 10 or 12 more games, so that's like the other thing is that this guy's playing every night. And the thing is, like I even look back like when Tibbs won in Minnesota. And, like, Jimmy Butler didn't play that many minutes because he got hurt, because he had all the wear and tear from the Chicago days.
Yeah.
He got hurt. It wasn't a contact injury. It was just his knee ligaments tore from all the miles, the Tibbs miles. And then guess who led the league in minutes for centers? It was Karl Anthony Towns by a lot. The same thing. He was averaging more minutes per game than any other center. And then he played 82 games that year. So of course, like these guys, man, they're gonna burn out, and that's the thing is like, and this year, like I think like what we did now with Randall is what we should have been doing the whole year. We should have taken a couple of nights off during the year. Once you saw that Obi, took another step and he was better this year than last, we should have given Randall a couple of nights off during the year for load management, and that's where somebody needed to step in, and that should be Leon, who's over Tibbs, and be like, listen, this guy's got to sit. You're going to burn him out. Because, listen, even LeBron, who is like, a machine, especially even when he was in his prime in Miami, and he was playing every game, doing everything, playing two-way player, handling the ball, playing multiple positions. That dude pushed back on playing power forward. He didn't want to play power forward. He kept pushing back because of the
wear and tear.
The punishment.
Yeah.
The wear and tear, pounding with these big guys who are just as big as you or bigger in the paint. So that part, I sympathize with Randall a little. But like I said, before Tibbs got here, he was still being a punk and pouting on the court in year one with Fizdale. And it's like, listen, you're not helping anything when you do that. Like, be a professional.
Right.
I know your job's not easy, but come on. So anyway, enough about Randall. So I just want to get into is the last thing about Randall before I move on is that I think him sitting has been good for two reasons. One, he actually looked a little remorseful in the game against Atlanta. Like, I think he got a chance to reflect what an idiot he's been and how
he's like put a timeout.
He put himself. Right, I mean, he realized, like, wait a second, I'm about to get shipped out of here, because he's trying to be his prima donna superstar, which he's not. And I wrote about that in the article about Randall, why, in his mind, he still thinks he's like the best player in the nation, like he was in high school and he went to Kentucky. And it hasn't dawned on him, like, yo, you're not at the same level as the superstars. If you notice in the Atlanta game, he was on the Utah game, when he went off on everybody, right? Mm-hmm. When did he calm down? Right before he saw Donovan Mitchell. He saw RJ talking to Donovan Mitchell, and then all of a sudden he ran over there, and he was all nice. Hey, Donovan, how you doing? and doing the whole thing because he wanted to be in the limelight with the stars. So anyway, but talking about the young guys, and I wrote about it the previous article to Tibbs about trust the process. And I think you're seeing that tonight, Jay and Ryan, is small successes, right? Mm-hmm. We don't got, like, outside of RJ, who was a top 3 pick, all the other guys, young guys are playing, are late picks. I mean, yes, Obi was a lottery pick, but, I mean, he was the 8th pick. And usually guys picked out of the top 3 and even, like, the top 5, there's a drop-off. And remember, that draft, Obi came out, was considered a little weak on the top end. So he's not like a franchise lottery pick, right? And then you got Grimes and IQ, who were picked 25th, and then you got McBride and Jericho, who were picked in the second round. So, but the point is, you're seeing these nice young role players who fit New York, right? Because they got the attitude we talked about before, right? These are guys like you saw quickly, and you talked about it so eloquently earlier, that the guy faltered earlier on, but that guy's a professional. And even Tibbs, we all talk about Tibbs and like to play young players. He didn't yank IQ the whole year. He benched Kimba because IQ had the right approach. He was playing hard, and he let IQ work out his issues. And you saw IQ came through. He didn't melt down like Randall. He focused, and look how good he's playing now. He's taking his game to another level after struggling. So I think, like I said, that we got something to build on with the young guys.
Yeah, we do.
And like you talked about earlier, like you saw like the ball movement without Randall there, and how much better everybody looks, especially RJ, when they're sharing the ball. So, like I said, I think the key is it was one game, and the key is you got to be consistent, right? So I think Tibbs now is kind of forced to play the young players, and like I said, any coach we have next year or the year after, all these coaches are the same. They're all coaching for their jobs. So unless manager forces them to play the younger guys, they're going to try to play some of the vets because they don't have the patience to let these guys work it out. But you saw Obi. He's going to get his minutes tonight, right?
Yeah, we got to get consistent.
People were talking that Tibbs was going to get Taj was going to get 48 minutes tonight. But you saw Obi played better because he knew he was going to get his minutes. So anyway, that's all I kind of wanted to say, which is a lot. But I was really excited. I think, this shows promise for next year, right? So I think we're seeing that we got something to build on, and we can move the hell off of freaking Randall. Right?
Absolutely. Let's move him out of here, man. I'm ready to move on, man. This is one thing this game told me today was it's time to move on from Randall. Like, we can do it. That's you see. I see a blueprint to success, all right? Let's do that. I'm ready. I'm ready to move.
Yeah, if we can move Randall, get a point guard, veteran point guard, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Facts.
All right, fellas, you're doing awesome. Ryan, you're crushing it. Jay Ellis, you're running that point, man. Like, we need a point guard like you, man. You got that crossover, you get everyone involved, make everyone feel appreciated. You're doing awesome, buddy.
All right, man. Salute to you, kid. Salute to you, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Yeah, man. If anything I can just learn from this game is that there is a blueprint to success after Julius Randle, and this team. They're not like a high octane defensive team. There's gonna be another huge test, and that test is gonna be versus the Miami Heat because Miami Heat actually has played some defense. But I'm hoping for a little bit more of the same. I want to see some ball movement. I want to see some consistent ball movement, and I want to see what Obi does against guys like this. Because where Obi does get in trouble sometimes is when people expect him to kind of head fake and go, and they just wait for him to paint. So I want to see how he reacts when things like that happen, because I feel like Miami is a little bit more disciplined in how to defend. So that I'm waiting for Obi to play this game and see how he reacts. And we'll see. Hopefully he gets to play this game and gets 30+ minutes a game today. I mean, next game.
Yeah, that Miami game is definitely going to be a huge test. Definitely want to see what this Knicks ball movement is going to do against a team that is solid defensively, like Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm not expecting the Knicks to win that game clearly because the Miami Heat is a better team, but I would hope that at least with, you know, the young guys running now, that they would at least keep the game close. Like, as long as the Knicks keep the game close and continue the ball movement and play well on defense, win or lose, I'll still be happy no matter the results.
Me too, man. And I just like the playing dynamic right now, even though we're out of it. I feel I like that dynamic because if we win right now, it's not because the team laid down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
think I like that aspect of it. It's not because the Hornets are trying to win. They're trying to make the play in. They was on a 5-game winning streak. So it wasn't just like, we're gonna just try out there and hope for the best. Nah, they got something to lose. So it was good to see the Knicks play spoiler today versus the Hornets. It was bringing to the Miami Heat. Next game up, you already know RJ Barrett versus Jimmy Butler. You already know how that's going to be. All right,
yeah.
It's gonna be a rough one. All right, next call up, we got our Mike. We got our man Mike from Michigan. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, fellas? Jay Ellis, Ryan G.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, gentlemen. It's a good night, man. It's a good night to be a Knicks fan.
Great night,
yes,
man.
sir.
It's a great night to be a Knicks fan. Man, so my man Ken touched on it. So, obviously I don't want to, but I have to mention it. I'm not going to beat the dead horse, but I have to mention it.
Go ahead and mention
that,
it.
Man, the team looks beautiful. Looks beautiful without number 30. Stopping the ball. It looks beautiful. Listen, I got some plans to be in NY for opening night next year.
Okay.
For the Knicks, but I'm not coming. Right. If Randall's still on the team, I'm not coming. No. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I gotta make it. I want to make it there. To see my guys in person. On opening night, but if he's still there, then I'll wait. I'm still planning on coming to a couple of games next year. But I just came. Opening night ain't gonna be as special for me if we don't get this guy moved this summer. So, and I'm just saying that just based on the way the team looks without him. Not trying to. Like I said, we can pay him for what he's done. He gave us a good year last year, and I think a lot of that was it's looking like I wasn't sure, but it's looking like the COVID year with no fans and in the stands and whatnot. It was looking like that the pressure that he didn't have on him last year, it eats him up this year. You know what I'm saying? Like his composure is bad and everything. It goes back to the year that the last year that we had my man Fizdale.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
When we first got Randall. Remember his demeanor was pretty much the same then.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at I was going back and forth in my mind if I wanted to make graphics for this. But let me see if I can even find them real quick. I was actually looking at number splits for Julius Randle and his home and away numbers. And not surprisingly, his away numbers are better than his home numbers. Things like his free throw percentage is like I think he shoots like 5 percentage points better away than at home from the free throw line. I think he averages about 2 more points away than at home as well, and even his percentages are the same way. So I think it's something to be said that when he went on that crazy run, he was on the road, man. Like when he was averaging like damn near 30 points a game, he was on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that detail last year when he was doing that. I was just happy he was winning.
No, I'm talking about this season. I'm talking about this season.
No, it's not this season.
This season,
okay.
This season, the Knicks went on like a 5-game West Coast trip, and Randall was going insane. He had a career high 46 points one game. He was shooting shot like 40% from 3 a couple of games in a row, and he was just on one. And then he comes back home and it's just like, it's not there. It's not there. And it's crazy because I was watching, who was I watching? I was watching Gilbert Arenas, actually. I was watching Gilbert Arenas, and he was talking about how booing at home affects players sometimes, good or bad. And I was like, maybe it's hitting Randall's psyche because he's definitely gotten the bad end of the stick from getting booed at home. And not to say that he didn't, deserve some criticism, but man, like it could have messed up his psyche for real.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't do himself any favors when he clapped back at the fans.
Nah, I didn't.
I mean, that was pretty.
Did not.
So his numbers being lower at home, that don't surprise me after that. And that's also why, going into this off season, I think it would be best for him and for the team just to find a good spot for him and let him go do his thing, where there's less pressure at.
No, I agree with you.
And why is different. And I think that so the way the team plays, getting back to that, the way the ball moves and everything without him stopping the ball. I mean, I think it was 30 assists tonight.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. Fournier had like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Obi had like 6 assists. Right?
Obi had 6 assists.
So,
yep.
My man Obadiah, 6 assists, 18 points, and 10 rebounds.
Come on, man.
So, yeah. So, I mean, people was writing him off. People was writing my man Obi off, but I'm like, Obi got athleticism that reminds me of Amari Stoudemire, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the way he finishes around the rim, it reminds me of Amari. But Amari got minutes in Phoenix to develop that my man has never gotten. So far in New York. I mean, he's averaging less than 20 minutes, nowhere near 20 minutes a game this year. Correct?
Yeah, but pretty much. I mean, I would have to look up that stat. But
Obi off the top, like 11 minutes a game.
Yeah, he's not even averaging 15.
11 minutes a game.
Damn. I thought it was at least 15. I thought it was like it's less than 20.
Nah,
I thought it was at least 15.
When he's really rolling, he gets 14 minutes.
Yeah.
When he's really rolling.
Yeah, when he's really when the coach is like, "Ooh, he's cooking." 14 minutes.
Yep.
I got to look this up. I think Taj might average more than 10 minutes. Taj might be averaging more than Obi this year, if I'm not mistaken.
That might be insane. We could look that up real quick if you want to.
Okay,
I'm gonna definitely have to look that up. Just to make. Well, I'll look it up.
I already
on a good day, so I'm not mad.
I feel like Ryan might be looking it up right now as we speak. I could definitely.
Yeah, but anyhow. Yeah, I don't want to keep you, gentlemen. I just wanted to call in and let you know, man, it's a beautiful day to be a Knicks fan.
Absolutely,
I remember always harking back to the years where we didn't have, any talent whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I still remember when was my man Langston Galloway was our best player.
Yeah, man. So, I used to love Langston too.
I got the minutes right here.
Let's go.
Yeah, before you go, Obi Toppin,
okay.
He actually is averaging 15 minutes a game.
Oh, he is?
He's averaging 40.9 minutes a game, but it's also right that Taj Gibson is averaging more. Taj Gibson is averaging 70.9 minutes a game, so Taj Gibson does average more minutes than Obi.
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. But yeah, we got young talent now, man, and we can never have, two of the things that we need at once. We either got a nice roster and a bad coach. Like when Zeke was bringing all those players in, it seemed like we had a nice roster, but we just didn't win any game. When we had under Zeke, he had it seemed like everybody was signed with the Knicks back then.
Yeah, you're right.
As far as free agents, and we still didn't win nothing. So coaching was an issue, and then after that, after Zeke, after we had to get those contracts cleared out, we had a couple seasons where we ended up resetting, and I think we had that's when we had Gallo. Gallo was our draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up getting Felton as our point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Best point guard play we had in my lifetime.
In
my lifetime. I know we had better point guards, back in the 70s and whatnot with Clyde.
Yeah, I feel you. Felton wasn't bad. People was. I was a Felton fan.
Was good.
I was a Felton fan when he was here.
Well, I mean, we did have Steph.
Yeah, Marbury. We had Steph.
Yeah,
Steph
we had Marbury.
Not Curry.
We're not talking about Curry and Marbury. Yeah.
Yeah, we I don't know what Marbury was on when we got him. By the time we got him, I guess he was just happy to be, at home and just, it didn't matter what he was doing.
Despite the
on game night to him, it didn't seem like. But yeah. So anyway, say all that to say this, this is the best team that we've had, that I've seen, and since, Oakley and Ewing them as far as the actual roster, top to bottom being decent. They just all young.
Yeah,
hopefully Tibbs, hopefully we can get Randall up out of here, just to clear the way. You know what I'm saying? To clear the way for the young kids and just, to continue to play like this next year. The way they play tonight, I don't have no problem if we lose with the ball moving the way that it was moving tonight and we actually develop our talent. So, yeah, that's all I got, gentlemen. I don't want to keep you up. Man, I appreciate y'all taking the call as always. And, I appreciate what y'all doing.
All right,
y'all
man.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, peace.
Yeah, salute to Mike, man. Yeah, this is the most amount of young talent that I feel like we've had in a very long time. I kept saying this since the David Lee, Nate Robinson, Channing Frye era. I feel like this is the most amount of young talent we've had at one time. Unfortunately, our coach, might not be the best coach for this situation, even though he's a good teacher. I feel like he might be a good teacher. He's a guy who's a good foundation coach guy. He's going to teach you the fundamentals. He's going to teach you the technique to play defense. He's going to concentrate on the small things. He's going to lay the foundation. But I think somebody talked about this before, how Mark Jackson led the foundation and Steve Kerr came in here and did the finishing touches. Eventually, I feel like you're going to have somebody else over here to do the finishing touches because this coach isn't not that imaginative on offense and puts a ceiling on certain players, on younger players, and we need our young players to fly and get better, especially considering how many of them we have,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is an interesting stat because I just thought about this right now because, like you said, how, this is probably like the best group of draft picks that we've had for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like really trying to think about it. I'm like, when was the last time the Knicks actually re-signed one of their rookies?
Charlie Ward.
To a bigger deal.
That we drafted.
And I'm like, yeah, but wasn't it David Lee? Didn't we re-sign David Lee to a big contract?
I think we. Oh wait, we know what we did re-sign.
Yeah, but I'm like, since David Lee, have we really have the Knicks re-signed any rookie to a bigger deal?
I don't think so.
Lee?
Nope. Frank was supposed to be the first. We saw about Frank being the first one. Then he left. We traded Kevin Knox. So I think R.J. Barrett. It's looking like it's doom and gloom for Mitch too. Cause I feel like Mitch is about to leave. I don't want him to leave. I don't want him to leave, but I don't have a good feeling. I don't have a good feeling about it. But I feel like RJ might be the one. And I know I saw that you talking about the article about RJ getting the max. I would be shocked if you offer RJ the max, or if he even commands a max. That would be
I don't think he's the max.
Yeah,
I don't think he's the max player at the moment, but the Knicks definitely got to give him some type of bread.
Right. Yeah, they got to give him some type of bread, but not max.
Yeah.
Max bread is a little crazy. But yeah, hopefully you pay Mitch. If we move Randall and cut some vets, we can pay Mitch. You know what I'm saying? 4 years, 48, done. Let's get it. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I pulled up the Randall numbers for guys if you wanted to hear it. Home offensive rating is 105 on the road, 100 at home. Field goal percentage, 42% on the road, 40 at home. Both of them are kind of bad. 3-point percentage, 32% on the road, 29% at home. Free throw percentage, 78% on the road, 75 at home. So overall, he's just better on the road than at home. And I don't think, it's not, defense is pretty much the same, 110 to 111.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly better at home on defense. Maybe that's the Garden crowd booing him if he doesn't rush back. That could be forcing that 1 point better on defense at home. But all the other numbers, he's offensively better on the road than at home. All right? For those of you who don't know. All right? But yeah, I feel like we talked about everything you want to talk about. Next game up, I believe, is Friday versus Miami Heat, right? Is it Friday?
Yeah, I believe it's Friday.
Friday versus the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler and them. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with the show. We get to end before midnight. It's just different. All right.
I know, man. I'm like 10:40. I'm like, word?
Exactly. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Gregory Lee, Fritz Alessandor, Nick Mupp, Michael Moss, Ian Goodridge, Picks with Timmy. Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. We will be here Friday, so definitely check back in with us, and hopefully we celebrate another Obi and RJ game. All right, Ryan G. Let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR, G is THILLIN. You can also find me at Sir G's Corner, where I post videos on the Knicks and sports. Kind of busy at the moment, so I have it on hiatus right now. I'll be back to doing those videos in a few. And you can also find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT.
I already know, man. You could get the merch, the blue and orange and the black and white KOT hats. Go to nicktimeshow.com and just click catalog and get our merch, hats, and more. You can also get our Maple Mamba shirts that you can cop for RJ. Also, you can listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can listen to us there. So make sure you do that as well. And also, you can follow us on all social media. That is the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and Nick Time Show on Facebook. And yeah. Also, check out the blogs, too, at thenickatimeshow.com. Cool. That is our show, guys. Thanks for rocking with us. And guess what? As always.
Shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets, all right? That is our show. We are out of here.
Peace.